Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So it's no secret that Forza Horizon 5 is currently in its third year of live service, which means historically speaking, we should be getting a new Forza Horizon title towards the end of this year, right? Well, that doesn't appear to be the case. As I'm sure all of you know by now, yesterday's Xbox Showcase event did not reveal anything about an upcoming Forza Horizon title. Now, I must admit, as I've said in previous videos, selfishly, I would have loved to have seen a new Horizon game released this year, as I'm quite ready to begin exploring a brand new location. However, based on all the news, rumors, and speculations surrounding Xbox, as well as how monthly updates have been with Forza Horizon 5 over the past year, truthfully, in the back of my mind, I didn't really have high hopes, and once the showcase ended with Gears of War, I came out not really feeling disappointed at all, because even though I would have loved to have seen a new game with a new location, I feel as though Horizon 5 still has loads of content left to explore, and I'm not just talking about the cars, things like Event Lab Builder, quality of life features, new way to upgrade your cars. If we look at how far this game has come since launch to where it is now, this isn't even Forza Horizon 5. We are essentially playing Forza Horizon 5.5, and should Playground Games continue this pattern of bringing in content along with features we have never seen in the Horizon series before, then I'm more than happy for Playground Games to continue supporting Forza Horizon 5. This then not only allows the developers to further experiment with what actually works and what doesn't, but it also gives them a longer development time that could be used to refine features that are still quite rough around the edges, like the test track, the anti-lag turbo system, just to name a few. And this then ultimately results in a much more polished Forza Horizon 6 at launch, unless they pull a turn 10 with Forza Motorsport. Now, for those wondering why Playground Games didn't reveal a new Forza Horizon title this year, despite knowing full well that it is currently in development as we speak, apart from the things I mentioned, which is more so my overall opinion, and you'll probably hear more of it in today's video, but Microsoft has stated, and I quote, "Cycle for high-end games aren't 2 to 3 years anymore. They're 4, 5, and 6 years. The longer creation process is due to the increased complexity of modern games, plus the desire to reach higher technical marks with 4K compatible graphics and advanced lighting. There are higher expectations. The level of fidelity that we're able to deliver just goes up." And this is all very true. If we look at all the previous Forza Horizon titles, each game has essentially grown, with a larger car roster, a bigger map, more features, better graphics. It's gone to the point where this series has become so big with each game that it's no longer sustainable to create something even bigger within the usual 2 to 3 year period, unless some shortcuts are made. Forza Horizon 5 was a great example of this. This game took 3 years to make, and ultimately when it launched, the game felt rushed. Only until a year later, after all the monthly content, re-adding in the cars that were left out from Horizon 4, along with all the additional features that were introduced, did Horizon 5 finally feel like it was a proper new entry to the series and not just some map expansion. Now, speaking of Forza Horizon 5's map, despite being the largest ever to be featured in the series, sadly, it feels rather empty. Now, I understand that perhaps Playground Games were faced with some limitations, as this was released as a cross-gen title, therefore maybe they weren't able to include as many things as they wanted, but for me at least, the reason why Horizon 5 Mexico feels, in a sense, soulless is because it has used the same formula as the last few Horizon titles. You have one main city, a few smaller towns, a long highway. It's more so the same map for each game. Maybe within the span of 2 to 3 years, this is the only feasible formula Playground Games can go with, as they not only have to pick spots that they know can be faithfully recreated in-game, but all done within a specific time frame. One interesting example is during Forza Horizon 4's development. Initially, Playground Games wanted to feature central London in their map, but they came to the realization that it was too much work to recreate and had to opt for a smaller city, which was why they ultimately ended up with Edinburgh. So perhaps giving more development time will mean a better quality map for Forza Horizon 6, and who knows, maybe for the first time ever, we might actually see a really big city. But for this to happen, the developers will need more time, and as Microsoft said, expectations are high. Which we now move on to the car models. So the cars that Playground Games have introduced throughout the years, for the most part, look pretty good visually. Are they the same standard and fidelity of a Gran Turismo 7? No, but the sheer amount of cars Playground Games have introduced, especially with Forza Horizon 5, is nothing but impressive. With that said, however, there still are certain cars that have absolutely plagued the Forza franchise for years. Cars like the Nissan Silvia S15, the Nissan Skyline R32 GTR, just to name a few, has essentially been the same inaccurate, non-laser scan car models dating all the way back to the first Forza Motorsport on the original Xbox, and to still see them exist nearly 2 decades later, it's just not acceptable, as well as not fitting with Microsoft's high expectations. I can only imagine if Forza Horizon 6 was to release this year with those same outdated car models, players within the community would have been irate, especially if the game is supposed to be built on the latest Forza Tech engine and released solely for the current Xbox Series consoles. Now, thankfully, Forza developers did reveal very recently that certain car models are being completely rebuilt for future Forza games. Here is the initial list, and recently 2 more cars have been added, which include the Volkswagen R32 and the Mercedes-Benz 190e. So it seems as though acknowledging and taking action to finally do something about these outdated car models could be another reason why Horizon 6 isn't being released this year. And honestly, I hope more cars get this treatment so that when the next Forza Horizon game gets released, every car looks consistent to one another. How good would that be? And finally, I want to briefly speak on Playground Games and the Fable reboot. Now, for the longest time, it was said that there were 2 different teams working independently on each series, and that none of these games would interfere with the development time of the other. Now, I don't know who exactly made this statement, but I know at some point I ended up believing this too. However, I actually don't think this is entirely true, and I say this because Connor Cross, who was the art director for Forza Horizon 4 and Horizon 5, revealed yesterday after the Fable trailer that he has been working on the latest Fable reboot as the art director. Now, sure, you can say that, well, Playground Games could have hired another art director, but the work he has done for the Forza Horizon series has been nothing short but incredible, to say the least. And it's not like he's left Playground Games for another studio, he's just jumped onto the other team's project. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't 2 teams within Playground Games. What I'm saying is that internally, I believe that there are some overlapping involved, with the upcoming Fable reboot also being built on the latest Forza Tech engine. Perhaps some very experienced developers within Playground Games who initially joined the studio for Forza Horizon has now dedicated some time over on the Fable reboot to help the game launch in 2025. I mean, it's not that wild to think that this scenario is a possibility, and with certain resources likely being shared, perhaps development for Forza Horizon 6 may have slowed down for the time being. So the question is, when will we see Forza Horizon 6? Honestly, I don't know. With Playground Games Fable releasing in 2025, I don't think it's likely Horizon 6 will also be released within the same year. So does this mean we will get GTA 6 before Forza Horizon 6? I don't know, that could be a possibility, but what do you guys think? Share us your thoughts down in the comment section below as to why you think Forza Horizon 6 wasn't announced in the latest Xbox showcase. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Forza Horizon related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.